everybody, it's Sharon here. Welcome back to my channel for those who are returning, and welcome to any new subscribers that may be visiting for the first time. So I have recorded footage of me putting the ephemera pieces into my journal. I'm not sure it will actually get posted or whether you will just see snippets. I did have quite a few interruptions while I was doing it and ended up finishing it, or I had to stop one day and restart the next day, so not sure how that will go once I put it all together, but hopefully I will be able to share it with you all. When I was putting my ephemera in, I found I had a couple of spots that didn't have any embellishments. Again, I apologise for my band-aids, but I did hurt myself on my fire, so long story, we don't need to go into that. Anyway, so I've decided to do a couple of altered paper clips is my thinking. So I'm just going to put this to the side, and as you know, I do have some alphabet strips left from my paper pad. I am trying to use as much of the paper pad as possible. I purchased the paper pad for this project, so I am trying to incorporate as much as I possibly can. So I thought I might have a little play and see if I can turn a couple of these into some altered paper clips. I'm not sure. So they're a large paper clip. They look a little bit too big to me. So I'm just, haven't used my little ones for a while. Probably should have grabbed them before I turned the camera on, but never mind. Okay, so my paper clips do have a few bits and pieces in there other than paper clips, but like a couple of toothpicks. So I think they should work fine. And I'm actually thinking of doing a double-sided paper clip. So we'll see how this goes, guys. Just going to cut this in half. So I have the XY here for no particular reason other than they were already cut as two letters. And I'm just going to, I need to take a little bit off this one. He's hoping I do this without messing it up. Thought I had that about 3 times then and it eluded me. Okay, actually what I should do, I won't use those because I can't, oh no, that's fine. Don't mind me, as you were. I'm not even going to tell you what I was thinking because it's totally irrelevant. And I'm just going to straighten that up. Now, my thought is I need something for the back of them. And I'm just wondering what I might be able to use. I might just have a look in my collage box and see if I've got any scraps in there. Sorry, I could do that on camera rather than off camera. I want something a little bit thicker. All sorts of treasures in here. Oh, like that. So that's a little bit of tea stain file folder. I'm wondering if I have a second piece. Could I be so lucky? Yes, 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 yes. I don't even know how they ended up there. They could have been really good journaling cards too. Anyway. So I need to cut them the thought maybe I could fit 2 on there, but that's not going to happen. I need to cut them the same size as my cards. And I'm not going to lie, I just had a thought for a different style of altered paperclip as I was reaching for my scrap paper. I don't even know why it jumped into my head, but now I'm like, oh, maybe I could do that too. Seriously, I just need to know when enough's enough. I'm really struggling with it. Like, I know I can't include everything into one journal, but sometimes I feel like that's what I'm trying to do. I was watching a tutorial this morning by Grammy's Keepsake, I think it was, and I was like, oh, I want to try that too. And I was like, no, you're almost done with this journal. You just need to seriously know when enough's enough. So perhaps I'll keep that for the next one. Okay, so I need to ink these, my favorite thing in the world. Not necessarily the physicality of the inking, but the effect of the inking is my favorite thing in the world. Just love the way it finishes everything off. And I am going to add just a little bit around the back, just to hide any white from the edges in case there is some. And so the same with the inside of the back. And we won't actually see the back of the tag, but that's okay, because I think I really like the idea of having a double feature. Sounds like a movie. Okay. And just lightly around the back. And then lightly on the inside. Now I've decided I'm not going to use my glue gun. That's what I've generally used for an altered paperclip, but I'd like to try this quick dry adhesive. Sorry, I just need to clean all my fluffy bits. I'd like to try this quick dry adhesive. I believe it should be okay, so I have my fingers crossed. It doesn't actually say metal, but almost everything else. Costume making, bridal wear, millinery work, fabric ribbon, plastic. I'm hoping it will be enough. So I'm going to go this way. Actually, I need to make sure that's the same as my card. Well, that doesn't work. I can't turn the letter around and make it upside down. I'm looking at it and I don't actually know which way it goes. So I'm going to grab just so happens I have another one, so the longer part of the X runs down the page. I'm hoping you saw that okay. Which is how I have it. That's what I thought, because this here looks like a little bit of a border to me. So, okay, so that works. So I'm just going to move that across. Okay, guys, he's hoping. So I have usually used my glue gun for this process in the past. I don't remember who I was watching a little while back, and they were using, I don't know if it was Fabri-Tac or was an adhesive that they were using for general purposes, and I was like, I wonder if I can do that rather than the glue gun. And I like the glue gun, but sometimes here the glue seems to dry quicker than I can get the paper onto it. I don't know whether it's my heat gun not heating it enough, or me using it too quickly, or the nature of the weather here, but it just hasn't been working for me the way I want it to. So not for all things. And there is a little bit of wiggle room in this glue too, so okay. So I'm going to get just really trying to burnish that down a little bit. It feels okay. So my second one, just trying to make sure I'm lined up okay. And so I could have left that just as one, but I decided I wanted a double feature, like in the movies. So putting a good amount around the paperclip itself in the hope that it will hold that down. Okay. And then now I don't have the added bonus of coming in from the back with this part. So and a good burnish all the way around. I'm just going to give that a good pinch while it sets. Well, I'm hoping it will set. Okay, now I do have my book open, my journal. So I'm just going to make sure that slips over the page okay. And it does. Hooray! Okay, I love it. I love it a lot. Now there was a little bit of movement in that when I just pulled it off, so I'm not going to leave it on the page. I'm going to sit it aside and let it dry properly. And I may make one more. Actually, okay, so the thought I had, and I'm just going to see if I can find what I need. My thought is evolving in my mind, so I need to have a think about it. And because I've moved, I don't know where anything is. Where are you? So I have my snippet roll. And I'm wondering if I can, oh my goodness, I'm wondering if I can turn that into a paper clip. What do you think, guys? I love it. Can I make it a little bit wider? See, this is what I do. I have plans, I change plans, I go off on a tangent. Okay, I have an idea in mind. I'm going to, so this is a large snippet roll that I've made. I can tell you the size actually. Here's my metal ruler. So, making sure that you are focused. So it measures roughly 3.5 inches, just under 3.5 inches, probably 3 3/8 by the look of it. And it was a snippet roll that I made a little while back. I think I made it when I was working on the wedding journal. And I used a little bit in there, and I still have a large piece left. And I have a small one, which is what I just went looking for and couldn't find it. I don't know where I've put it. And they both serve their own purpose. They both have uses that I can't use the other one for. It just doesn't look the same. So I'm just going to make a little paper clip out of this. And I think it's going to be really, really pretty. So I only have, I think, this is the last of my alphabet letters. Oh no, I have another one here. So which letter? Kind of working backwards, I think. T it is. And I want my paper cutter because it cuts straighter than I do. And that hasn't quite gone through. Maybe I could do that. I'm just like, it's a shame to waste one side of it when it's only going to be against a book page. So I might actually, thinking on the fly again, and you could totally have done it that way, but I'm going to get 2 for the price of 1. Okay. First of all, I'm going to ink around these. Sorry, I just pulled it away from myself. Oh, yes, away from you and myself, because I'm trying not to get fluff all over my board. Oh my goodness, that's pretty. So I will share with you, when I went to get my scrap paper a moment ago, I have a drawer with fabric in it, and I looked at the fabric and I went, ooh, maybe I could do a fabric paper clip. and then for some reason I was near my inspiration box, which is where I remember seeing my snippet roll last, and hence we have snippet roll. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Sorry, I have a mess everywhere because I'm literally in the middle of putting my ephemera in my book, and I decided I was going to stop doing that to quickly do these before hubby got home. So I'm going to quickly turn the camera around and I will turn it back on and show you what I'm doing. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, I'm back again. So I'm going to take this and I might leave it on a zigzag actually. Okay, now I'm sorry you may bounce around a little bit because I do have the camera stand on, set up on this table, but hopefully it won't be too bad. And I've just lost my cotton. This is real life, guys. For some reason it gets stuck around my bobbin holder. I don't know why that is. I feel like my bobbin holder needs something on top of it to stop the bobbin from bouncing around. Could just be the quality of the machine. Could be user error. I don't know. I was doing something with it just recently and I was holding the bobbin in place and it seemed to work so much better. As in, I wasn't stopping it from moving, I was just supporting the top of it. Okay. Ah. Speaking of user error. Oh, seriously. Okay, mugs away. gosh, that's pretty. I even like the back. It's so pretty. Okay, so that's the first one. Sorry, the light's not very good over this side. I really love that. And then the second one is the S. It's working which way I want to go. I'm really self-conscious of my band-aids at the moment. I really don't like band-aids. Okay, I just want to make sure that's lined up properly. So when I do this, I put the needle on the outside of the paper. So my outside edge is on the right. So because I'm doing a zigzag and it alters between the two, I make sure it's on the right hand side when I start, and then I can place it in the corner. And I know that I'm in the right spot. Now, I don't know if other people do it the same, but I'm not a sewer, and I just find that helps me to guide me as to where I need it to be. So for any non-sewers out there, I hope that helps. Okay. Right, so I'm going to turn the camera back around and we'll organise the backing for them. Won't be a moment. Okay, so I've just grabbed another piece of, it's actually tea-stained manila folder, not file folder, so I apologise for getting that wrong earlier. And you can see here the colours are slightly different, but that's okay. This is the little scrap that we had left over from earlier. Now, my thought process is to glue these down, and then I'm thinking about sewing around the edges. But I will have to wait until my glue has dried before I can do that final sew. So and obviously these aren't going to be a perfect match between the fabric and the file folder, but sorry guys, but I'm kind of going for as close as possible. Doing these has actually made me light up. I'm really enjoying the idea of how these are going to turn out. And it's funny because what I thought was going to be something really simple and beautiful, which was these, which I still really love, sometimes I turn the camera on and seriously I never know what's going to happen. Or alternatively, I sit down at my desk and I have a plan and then I never know how it's going to pan out. So, and I love that. I really, really love that. Okay, so that's one. Just paper clip those together. So I have my paper clip there. And just lining this up. I might do this side first actually, because that in turn keeps the length on the other piece. Fabulous. Okay, so I do need to ink this piece of manila folder because when the paper clip comes off it will be visible. And this was the other piece of tea stain manila folder that I grabbed was out of my ephemera, my tag and journaling card magazine rack that I use for my photos. I'm sure you've all seen it in my photos by now. And I had it there ready as a journaling card, so I'm kind of using it for that, but just in a slightly smaller state than its original state. And I'm thinking I might use my fabric glue. Oh, we'll use the quick dry. I've been using it for everything else just to see if it will work. So part of me is thinking that it's our equivalent to your Fabri-Tac because it does say for costume wear and that sort of thing. So okay, and clearly that doesn't go like that. So here goes. Just trying to make sure it's as straight as possible. And then so I'm trying to get as close to the edges as possible. I know I said I'm sewing this, but I would like to make sure it's adhered well. A paper clip does have a generous amount of use as it's being pulled in and out of anywhere that it sits, so I'd like to think that I've taken precautions to stop it from falling apart. And he's hoping it doesn't seep through the fabric because that would break my heart. In actual fact, I might leave it to get a bit tacky. Fingers crossed, guys. This is all an experiment. So I've just taken this off my scoreboard. It is slightly thinner I just want to get into the groove of the paper clip to try and make sure it's burnished down. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one to dry, and then I think I will zigzag around the outside. And I have done them in different orientations, and I'm kind of loving the fact that they're the same but different. Okay. Apparently I can't talk and concentrate on my gluing at the same time. Sorry. Does anybody else hold their breath while they're gluing near the edges so that they don't get too close? Sometimes I find myself doing that, not intentional. And then I get to the middle and I'm like, oh, I can breathe again. Okay, a nice generous coverage. I think I just went a little too close to the edge after saying that. Oh dear, can't be trusted. Okay, and again, just leaving it for a moment. You can kind of see how I've tried to fill in around that paper clip as much as possible. So, hoping I'll get good adherence there to stop the paper clip from coming out. And I've just realised that, oh no, I thought I had the larger piece in the middle, but I don't. I have the smaller piece. I do like to have the larger piece on the outside. I don't know why, just my preference. Can feel that grabbing hold already, actually. I'm really impressed at how that glue seems to be holding. Trying to do it without moving the paper clip. So in around the edges. And this again is the beauty of having snippet rolls that are neutral in colour. So if this had been, I don't know, a snippet roll with different colours, and perhaps it had, you know, really deep, dark, rich colours, navies or reds, or it may not have worked so well for this journal, which meant that I wouldn't have been able to use it. But because it's neutral, the fabrics in my snippet roll are neutral, I can literally marry it with just about anything and it will work, which I love. So I do think I need to make more of my small snippet roll. I could possibly do that on video. If anyone's interested, let me know below in the comment section and I will endeavour to do that on camera for you. But I'm pretty sure I'm getting low on my small snippet roll, so whether I do it on camera or not, I will have to make another one. Okay. and they are my little paper clips. Well, that one goes. I love them. I love them a lot. Do it that way. I'm sorry about the crease on my paper too. That was how it was in the container, and it came out like that. But as long as it protects my mat, that's fine. So I think I will leave it here for that little craft with me. That was lots of fun. I really enjoyed the way they came out. Please don't forget to hit like, give me a thumbs up if you like what you see, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see future videos. I will off camera be sewing around these fabric ones, and I will pop the camera on and take a couple of photos of those two. Sorry, I will turn the camera on and take a couple of photos to add to the end of this video so that you can see the final result, but I won't be able to do that until the glue has dried. So happy crafting, everybody. Have some fun. Bye for now. Everybody, welcome back. It is the next day and I left the paper clips to dry overnight before I put them through my sewing machine, and I've just finished sewing around the edges and sewing some little details onto the bottom of them. I forgot to turn the camera on while I did the lace, but I did catch my little snippet rolls. And I actually have sewn around the whole thing. It wasn't an intentional thing. I started and went very slowly around from the edge of the paper clip, and I did double stitch there because I had no intention of going over the top of the paper clip, and I went all the way around the paper clip decoration, and I got to here and I actually hand sewed across that area by turning the wheel on the machine. Now it was a risk that I took because I may have actually hit the paper clip, although I was using my hand, so I did have a lot of control. And I don't know if I would do it that way again. It did adhere very well, and I probably should have turned the camera on and shown you how well. It's super flat. So the glue has definitely taken a hold and worked, which I'm actually really excited about because I can use that in the future, rather than my hot glue gun, which I don't think is anywhere near as successful. But I love the detail of the stitching. So again, you may not want to sew all the way around. There is a chance that this little stitch here, I think there's a stitch on both of them, that has gone over the top of the paper clip, and there is a chance that that will pull or tear, but because I've double sewn on either end or either side of the paper clip, it shouldn't really affect the workings of the paper clip. So anyway, I'm super happy with how they've come out, and I think they look beautiful on my page. And go out and experiment, people. Go out and have some fun with your crafting, because you never know what you will come up with. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm pretty sure it was a short one, having filmed most of it yesterday. I don't remember, but because I had the snippet roll already made, I don't think it took me very long. So enjoy creating, and I will see you soon. Happy crafting, everybody. Bye for now.